Olá, raposas e magos, tudo bem com vocês?
Eu sou a Yuki, e bem-vindos ao mundo da Yuki.
Bom vídeo! Continuando da onde paramos, raposas e magos. Espero que gostem do vídeo, se inscreva no canal e ative o sininho de notificação para mais vídeos e futuras lives. Deixe seu like e comente o que estão achando. Não deixe de me seguir também nas outras redes sociais, links na descrição e bora lá, raposas e magos.
Things have been looking really rough for Natlan lately. There are more and more commissions from the Adventurers Guild, and they're all related to the Abyss. Just waiting around won't do us any good. Let's go and see if there's anything we can do to help.
Pronto, agora falar, podemos ir o mais longe possível agora. Peraí, é dentro do negócio de... Nossa, ia ser muito grande esse rolê. Bem, finalmente vamos saber o que vai acontecer no episódio 16. Vai ser postado amanhã, com certeza, sexta-feira.
I see. Thank you so much. The Adventurers Guild has been overwhelmed these days.
No worries at all. We've always valued the strength of adventurers. Given the current situation, it's vital that we all work together. Since we're facing the same enemies, I'll send you the intel we've collected on the Abyss so far. Then we can take a look at how to coordinate our efforts.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hi, Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions?
You two have come just in time. I've got some good news. The Pyro Archon has finished assembling her forces and stationed them all across Natlan. Given how the Abyss has ramped up its activities lately, we can no longer afford to act only after receiving news of an invasion. So the Pyro Archon suggested that the Scions of the Canopy and the Adventurers Guild focus on collecting and disseminating intel. That way, we can stay informed of everything that's happening across the land. Once we receive word of enemy activity, we can notify the nearest camp and the stationed forces can take immediate action.
Isso levará tempo de resposta mais rápido.
Yes, precisely. This should also allow us to focus on gathering information, rather than running around and trying to tackle everything at once. So please also take a chance to relax, you two. You've been working hard these days, and this will be a good opportunity for some well-deserved rest.
So that's the plan. Whew, we can finally stop and take a break.
Mas a ameaça do abismo ainda está longe de encerrada.
Paimon knows that. It's not like Paimon just wanted to lay here and do nothing.
The movements of the Abyss are always unpredictable. There have also been times when it suddenly became more active in the past. The people here generally see it as something like an acute natural disaster. Once the disaster is over, everyone will return to their normal lives. We just all hope that day will be sooner rather than later.
Oh, right. Most people have no idea just how bad the situation has gotten in the Night Kingdom.
Também espero que o dia de paz venha logo. Ah, são Lumine e Paimon. Oi.
Oh, hey, Kachina! Are you feeling better now?
Sim, agora não é hora de ficar em casa me recuperando. Queria fazer alguma coisa para ajudar. Soube que Arconte Pyra está reunindo guerreiros para ficar posicionados em áreas mais remotas, então vim me alistar. Impressionante, Katina. Não acho que eu não soube de todas as coisas que vocês têm feito. Como todos os trabalhos tão duros, tenho que fazer minha parte também. Ah, falando nisso, Shilonen me disse que ela foi ordenada a forjar um nome antigo para vocês. Ela disse que tá tudo pronto e podem ir lá quando tiver com tudo arrumado.
Wow! So we'll finally get to meet Shilonen, the legendary forger of ancient names! Paimon still can't believe anyone could forge those things.
Shilonen é uma verdadeira mestra. Ela não pode apenas forjar nomes antigos, como também todo tipo de coisas maneiras. Ela sempre tem uma pilha de comissões para fazer, então você geralmente tem que esperar muito antes dela terminar alguma coisa. Mas nesse caso, ela liberou completamente a agenda só para trabalhar com vocês. Ela quer dar atenção total ao seu nome. Então devemos agradecer a ela direitinho quando nos conhecermos. Bem, eu já me registrei como guerreira, então tudo que eu tenho que fazer agora é esperar pela minha atribuição. Se não tiver problema, a gente pode ir encontrar Shilonen juntas. Ela não me dispensaria, né? Digo, espero que não me dispense.
Hey, have some confidence in yourself, Kachina. After all, you're already a victor of the Night Warden Wars.
Todos estão tão orgulhosos de você. Pensando melhor, talvez eu só encontre um buraco no chão para eu me enterrar por um tempo.
E vamos de acelerar, pois não sabia onde estava a personagem.
Achei. Shilonen trouxe as pessoas que precisam de um nome antigo. Ela é super incrível e já aprendi um montão de coisas com ela. Posso garantir que ela merece mesmo o nome de uma heroína.
Ah, yes, so I've heard. So young, and yet you've already got quite the reputation. Wait, are you Outlanders?
Yep, we're travelers who just arrived in Natland not too long ago.
No, I mean, I was aware that you're travelers. It's just no one told me that you're Outlanders.
Tá dizendo que a Coach Pyron não te contou?
No, the only thing she said is that a new hero had pledged herself to the plan, but we need to forge an ancient name to ensure she'd be able to return safe and sound. And she did mention that it would be quite difficult to forge an ancient name for them, but at the time, I thought she was just commenting on my skills. But I seem to understand where the true difficulty lies now.
Você está chateada?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm used to it, really. I just need a moment to process things. The Pyro Archon's requests are always difficult to fulfill, and we used to argue a lot. Honestly, it's probably for the better that she didn't bring this up at the time. Anyway, I can't argue with her if she isn't here, and it'd be pointless to take my anger out on someone else. But, just because I understand her rationale doesn't make me any less upset. After all, she must have known that forging an ancient name for an Outlander is an impossible task.
It's impossible?
As you probably know, an ancient name is a symbol of a hero's sparing glory, which grows even richer and heavier as generations of successors inherit it. We forge ancient names by engraving the heroic deeds of an individual who will become the first hero of that particular name.
Tenho muitos feitos na bagagem. Eu vi incontáveis feitos gravados no manual de aventura delas. Pareciam que conseguiam fazer de tudo.
But they were all performed outside of Natlan, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Then those deeds haven't been recorded by the Night Kingdom. To take it one step further, even if you had performed heroic deeds in Natlan, as an Outlander, your actions still wouldn't have been recorded by our lands. Only memories and experiences that have been acknowledged by the Wyab can be used as a basis for an ancient name. Even the greatest of craftsmen cannot create something out of thin air, you know. That's just how it is.
Seems the Wyab don't want just anyone to get a name, huh?
Mawika, of all people, should know better than anyone. Yet she still entrusted the task of forging the ancient name to me.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Nobody's happy being asked to do the impossible.
Por que eu sinto que isso aconteceu antes? Acho que da última vez, Shilonen só acabou dando inúmeras voltas nas colinas próximas.
Ugh, don't remind me. Let's just focus on how we can pull this off. How to achieve the impossible.
You mean you're already willing to accept the task?
Well, what else can I do? What's happened is already done, and it's not like I can outright defy the order of my Archon. If she gave me this order, then she believes the ancient name is an indispensable part of her plan, and that I'll be able to find a way to make it happen. In other words, the order is an affirmation of my abilities.
Whoa, not only has she accepted the task, but now she's looking for silver linings?
Talvez isso seja apenas o quanto ela e Arconte se confiam. Vamos ver se a gente consegue encontrar um jeito especial de fazer isso. Se a gente não conseguir fazer funcionar, tenho certeza que ainda podemos voltar e falar com a Conte Pyro, certo?
The key is getting the Wyab to somehow acknowledge the traveler's existence and record her heroic deeds.
We heard the voice of a Wyab when we were in the Night Kingdom before. We even had a whole conversation with her. If we can talk to her again, maybe we can figure something out together.
Well, every tribe has their own Wyab. How do we know if the one you met is indeed the best one for us to talk to? Plus, considering the unprecedented nature of this situation, I have a feeling that the acknowledgement of one Wyab alone would probably not be enough.
A gente precisa ganhar o reconhecimento de todos os 6 Yayobi.
I don't know. That requires a level of knowledge that I do not possess. We need to find a consultant who's an expert on all things Night Kingdom and Wyab. The first person who comes to mind is Seatlali at the Masters of the Nightwind, the one we call Granny Eatstali.
Oh, we've heard that name before. We used her Spirit Speaker Stone to find Kachina's ancient name. A person who can make something like that must be pretty impressive. I'm sure she'd be able to help.
Still, she's older now and quite eccentric. It's hard to even book a meeting with her, given that she's constantly holed up in her room and doesn't like to be disturbed. I've heard that to get her help, you have to be extremely patient with her and know how to keep her spirit up.
I hate to break it to you, but...
Ela provavelmente não vai ficar feliz com a gente.
Huh. Why is that? I mean, didn't she already help you before? And you even managed to save Kachina.
Well, yeah. At the cost of her Spirit Speaker Stone being split into 2.
Great going, Moeka. We're already off to a rocky start here. In that case, I guess your only option is to try to emphasize that this is an important order from the Pyro Archon. Hopefully, I'll also write you a letter on your behalf. If you can find someone to deliver it and mention some good things about you, then that should help too.
Vamos pedir para Kinichi entregar a carta. Ele entende a situação inteira e já é um rosto familiar para ela.
Paimon sure hopes a Hal won't interrupt when he's talking, though.
Alright, Kanichi is a seasoned negotiator. I trust that he'll know the best things to say.
Ótimo, então eu vou entrar em contato com ele agora mesmo.
Please just give me a moment to write the letter, and we can meet up near the Statue of the Seven later.
Sounds good. We'll take a stroll in the meantime.
O meu passeio vai ser... 97, talvez? Depois. Kinichi chega após um tempo. Nos encontramos novamente. Katina me contou tudo. Vou entregar a mensagem ao mestre dos ventos noturnos e convencer Seatlali a dar uma chance a vocês. Também vou aproveitar para explicar o que houve com a pedra Proferespírito e oferecer a ela desculpas pessoalmente.
I'm sorry to put this on you, Kanich. It's just that you're probably the only person who knows how to deal with her.
Está tudo bem. Estamos todos trabalhando pelo bem do plano da Corte Pyro. Afinal, todos aqui entendem quão desesperadora a situação se tornou.
Oh, wait, so Kachina and the Traveler also know about the plan?
Aham, porque todos nós vimos um herói do passado se materializar de novo, bem na nossa frente. Aí Mulan disse que um montão de conhecimento e memórias tomaram o cérebro dela de repente. A Conte Pyro explicou tudo quando voltamos ao Reino da Noite, incluindo o motivo por trás da aparição do herói, assim como o atual estado do Reino da Noite.
Right. She mentioned there are 6 heroes and that Shilonen is one of 4 that have already been acknowledged.
Oh, well, then I suppose there's no need to keep any secrets between us. Having companions walk by your side is perhaps the best solace when facing such a bleak reality.
Tem outra informação para compartilhar. Praticamente identificamos a pessoa que rasgou. Eu não consegui ler. Nossa, depois eu leio para vocês, Raposas e Magos. O nome dele é Ororon e ele também vem dos Mestres dos Ventos Noturnos. Contudo, ele passou a maior parte da vida sozinho na natureza, longe do resto da tribo. É por isso que o desaparecimento dele não foi notado. Quando Citlali finalmente recebeu que ele foi embora, ninguém tinha notícias dele há um tempo.
Citlali knows him too?
Isso mesmo. Ororon era um órfão criado pelo chefe dos Mestres dos Ventos Noturno e muitas pessoas gentis na tribo. Mesmo assim, ele tinha uma reputação estranha por toda a sua vida. Estranha?
Given how the Masters of the Nightwind love to babble about dreams and revelations, they're already a pretty strange bunch to most. I've never met Auroron, but if they consider him the odd one, he's got to be pretty far out there.
Isso mesmo. Então, nesse sentido, Ororon e Citlali têm bastante em comum, sendo por isso que eles se dão tão bem.
Makes sense. But Paimon wonders how Citlali could be the first one to notice Auroron's disappearance if she spends the whole day in her room.
Até agora, ainda não conseguimos confirmar se Ororon se juntou aos Fatui voluntariamente ou se foi coagido. Citlali provavelmente está ansiosa para provar que Auron não traiu seu povo. Planeja usar isso como ponto de partida quando for conversar com ela.
Oh, so if I'm following, you mean we'll help her investigate Auroron and the captain's whereabouts?
Sim, se vocês concordarem com a ideia, isso se tornará uma colaboração mutuamente benéfica ao invés de um pedido unilateral. Embora eu não ache que Citlina seja o tipo de pessoa que reconsideraria uma ordem da Corte Pyro, trabalhar conosco vai ajudá-la a focar e não se distrair por toda a sua situação com Ororon. Boa ideia!
Yeah! Plus, we kinda owe her one anyway to make up for breaking the spirit speakers down.
Ah, this is a pretty well thought out plan, as expected of Molly Poe Kanich. Then, yeah, I'll leave my letter to you. Let's hope Citlali can meet at the stadium in 2 days.
Claro, vou partir imediatamente. Cuide-se, Kinich. Também vou voltar. Ainda há outras coisas que preciso arrumar.
Okay, then let's part ways for now. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Raposas e magos, o que aconteceu com o áudio? Não sei. Sério, estou incrédula. A Katina não tem áudio. O Kenichi não tem áudio. Eu tive que fazer a voz dos dois. Que é isso? Bem, vou cortar essa parte.
Oh, it's time to meet up with Shilonen. Let's ask her how things have been going.
E vamos de acelerar, pois não sabia onde estava a personagem.
Consciência.
Hey, Shilonen, how's everything going?
Oh, hi, Traveler and Paimon. I have bad news. Seatlali did not reply to our request, although I suppose I'm not too surprised.
Huh? You mean she didn't even bother to give Kenichi a response? Guess she really does have quite the ego then.
Yeah, well, she can be also quite eccentric, though she's one of the most gifted people around. Even the Masters of the Nightwind often struggle to work with her. My guess is that she probably has other reasons for not deigning us with a response. But let's go to the stadium and see if we can meet her there. If we do get a chance to talk to her in person, we can still try to work something out.
That's true. Let's go!
Olha o Bob.
Vocês chegam ao estádio da Chama Sagrada. Como esperado, Citlali não está lá.
Paimon doesn't see anybody. Seems she's just not gonna show up, huh?
Well, we tried to be as considerate as we could, but she's under no obligation to help.
That might be true, but this is still a request from the Pyro Archon, right? Shouldn't the subject always answer the call of their Archon?
A subject? Well, if you ask me, I'd say we're all more like friends with the Archon. Yes, Mawika is our leader, but that doesn't mean there's any kind of tall barrier between us and her. The only thing is that she often has very high expectations of us.
Dá pra perceber.
Huh. So even though she's super powerful, it sounds like she's actually pretty down to earth and easy to get along with. Unlike that old hag Granny Eatstily, right? Does she think she can ignore us just because she's famous? You all talk about her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't even bother to reply to our letter! Seriously, if she didn't want to come, she could at least let us know. If that's what aging does to you, Paimon never wants to get old.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
Se ferrou, Paimon.
Huh? Who's there? Who's talking next to Paimon?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's worse than my bite.
Huh? Seatlali.
Wait, you're Seatlali? You're Granny Eatstily?
Yes, Granny Eatstly. But emphasis on Eatstly, not Granny. You must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran. The wise sage who looks like a little kid. Oh, wipe that look off your face! You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup.
Did I forget to mention, she's called Granny, but she's actually pretty young.
Você reclamando que a Arconte Pyro não falava tudo.
It was an honest mistake. I guess we've just gotten used to it.
I'm sorry. So, actually?
What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
Paimon really didn't mean to offend you, it's just that your case seems really unique. Oh, Paimon just wanted to apologize, but now she's putting more and more of her foot in her mouth. Really, Paimon just got a little mad since we thought, well, you were gonna leave us out to dry.
It was my idea to invite you here, Citlali. So if you're upset, you can just take it out on me.
All right. I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going. I received Kenichi's letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, "Understood." Besides, just showing up is the most important part. No? But, of course... It's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house. It certainly was a bit awkward to see that everyone else had arrived before me. At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology, only to hear you all talking smack about me. Anyway, that's the whole story. Honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway.
What's with that expression? Was she feeling embarrassed just now?
Ela estava esperando que a gente toque a conversa. Tudo que ela disse parece uma piada, mas não tenho certeza se deveria rir. Seria rude rir? Ou ainda mais rude não rir?
When the Masters of the Night Wind say they struggle dealing with her, I wonder if the feeling is mutual. She seems to be pretty awkward herself. Everything she does and says seems a little forced.
Anyway, Shilonen, I heard that you require my help in crafting an ancient name.
Correct. The situation isn't like anything we've handled before. Let me explain.
Shilonen explica o pedido da Arconte Piro, assim como as dificuldades que encontrou.
I see. So Mauika has asked you to forge an ancient name for an Outlander. Well, that would be a first. And you've also heard all about Auroron. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition. He must have been coerced somehow.
Vamos saber quando encontrarmos.
Yeah, that's what we came here to ask you. We'll help bring Auroron back if you help us solve the problems of forging the ancient name. What do you think?
I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here. Let me take a good look at you. Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold. Baleful thunder and wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet again and again, you've braved them to find new worlds. O weary yet free soul, even the most verdant leaf in the forest will pray for your happiness and safe passage.
Como é? O que isso quer dizer?
Those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night. Huh? Don't move. There's something here.
Huh? What thing? Don't scare Paimon. Is the Traveler gonna be okay?
Shoo! That should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body. No need to worry. I've just cleared out the last of them.
ghost come back with you?
It's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind, and generally worsen your mood.
Well, in that case, better to get rid of them.
Valeu?
It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Auroran back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night.
The Lord of the Night? But don't we need to talk to the Wyab of the tribes?
Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our lands. The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom, constantly borrowing the power of the sacred flame to combat corrosion from the abyss.
Oh, so you're basically saying it's even more powerful than the Wyab of the tribes. Well, that sort of makes sense, being the lord of the entire Night Kingdom and all.
Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. But never mind. That's not important. It would take too much time to explain. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber, and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance. I'll make a list. Can any of you get everything for me?
I can go. It'll probably be a long list, so better leave it to someone who knows all the local vendors.
Sounds good. Then we'll go with St. Lolly to track down Auroran.
Phew, the Fatui are nothing to scoff at, so please, be careful during your investigation. If you need any help, just come find me.
Yep, we'll be sure to play it safe.
All right, now it's time for us to catch that brat and bring him back. I'm sorry I made you wait earlier. It was actually because I decided to swing by Auroran's place to look for clues. He has always lived alone, and I found a broken jar in his house. There was also something off about his phlogiston aphids, which I assume is because their keeper has been gone for quite some time. And interestingly enough, I saw some slash marks in the house that did not match any of our local weapons. My guess is they were left by Snezhnayan arms.
Oh, sounds like the Fatui broke into his house and took him hostage.
But why would they kidnap a kid who just spends his days living in the country and raising aphids? He's only in his 20s. What would they want with him? That's not to say that I believe he's totally innocent, of course. Since he's the only one who was kidnapped out of everyone in Natlan, he must have... In any case, we'll get to the bottom of this once we manage to get him back here. I'm truly sorry to put you two through all this trouble with me. But... please help me get him back.
You can count on us!
All right, then let's start by heading to where Auroran was seen last. This is the spot. An eyewitness claimed to have seen Auroran speaking to some Fatui soldiers here. I don't know how much you're willing to believe me, but Auroran really is a good kid. I see no reason why he'd suddenly get involved with the Fatui. I'm convinced that what the witnesses saw was actually the Fatui coercing him, or perhaps trying to extract information. However, I doubt anyone would believe me, given there are no signs of a fight.
Didn't Kanich say that she's a big name in Natlan? Feels kinda weird to see her so frustrated and helpless like this.
Pode nos contar pouco mais sobre ele?
Auroran? Well, he was left at the side of the road as an infant. and the people of the tribe took him in. You could say that everyone had a hand in raising him. He learned a lot from us, and once he reached adulthood, he built himself a house out in the countryside. He spends most of his days growing vegetables and raising aphids, living off of what he harvests from the garden. He's always been such a good kid. He would even get his friends to deliver whole bags of fresh produce to my place.
Se isso é tudo mesmo, então ele não parece ser uma pessoa ruim.
Oh well, let's keep looking. He can answer all of our questions once we find him. He's been raising phlogiston aphids for a long time, and since they were disturbed, they secreted a special type of phlogiston. We can use that substance to track his movements. Let's follow the phlogiston trail.
Huh? What trail? Paimon doesn't see anything.
Oh, right. I forgot your eyes don't naturally perceive such things. Here, give me your hand. How about now?
What do you see?
Posso ver rastro agora.
Whoa, Paimon can see it now too!
That's right. I used a spell to temporarily transfer a portion of my senses to you. For a short while, you'll be able to see the phlogiston too.
Wow, you can even share your senses with us? First time Paimon's heard anything like that.
It requires a very rare spell that most people aren't adept at. But don't worry, it's a cinch for me. Between the two of you, it seems the Traveler's senses are a bit stronger than Paimon's. When I held your hand just now, I could sense that you've got a great affinity for phlogiston. You're extraordinarily gifted. Anyway, we'll need to use our vision now to track down Auroron. Good luck, you two.
Over here, this way! See, Lolly might say a lot of deep and confusing stuff, but this spell of hers is really something.
What was that?
Oh, Paimon was just complimenting you, really.
What does she mean by deep and confusing? As far as elderly shamans go, I'd say that I'm already pretty easy to talk to. Is there any other old hag who's as fluent in the language of the youth as me? But is my way of speaking still not trendy enough? I've already tried my best to match their speech patterns. But given the looks on their faces just now... Or perhaps I'm still not fashionable enough? But that can't be, right? Don't tell me they're still getting the impression that I'm super old-fashioned.
Huh?
Acho que acabei de ouvir uma voz. Espera. Mas não foi com meus ouvidos. Foi tudo na minha mente.
Was that Seat Lolly's voice?
Parece que Paimon ouviu a mesma voz, mas ela também parece ter entendido o que está acontecendo. Me deixe pensar. Deve ser um efeito colateral do feitiço que ela lançou.
Now that I think about it, it's a good thing I found some helpers this time. Some things are best done with the help of friends.
Então agora nós podemos ouvir os pensamentos dela por telepatia. Uau, isso é incrível. Uma coisa dessa só podia acontecer com Citlali.
Oh? They appear to be feeling quite confident. Looks like our work will go smoothly.
Pode apostar, deixa com a gente.
Hey, looks like there's a new camp over there.
Let's go take a look.
Yep, judging by Paimon's experience as a guide, it definitely looks like people set up camp here.
Wait. The phlogiston here is a bit odd. Let me see.
Paimon sees a small shape here. Could it be some sort of symbol?
This is a distress signal for the Masters of the Night Wind. Only someone from our tribe would recognize it. So Auroron was indeed being threatened. We've got to find him, fast. Leaving such a subtle mark implies that he was trying to be discreet. In other words, he was probably under the Fatui's watch. If they notice us, we can just charge in and fight them to the death. But what if my darling grandson is also there? I can't have him caught in the crossfire. No, I've got to be careful. Otherwise he'd get hit as well. How annoying. No, I've got to stay calm and keep my composure.
There are traces of people staying here too.
Wait a second. The phlogiston around here is jumbled up. I can also smell a mix of elements in the air. Pyro, electro, and some other elements as well.
Kanich told us that you were super amazing. No wonder you can sense so many more things than us.
It's about time that little brat said something nice about me. There are signs of a struggle here. Judging from what's left on the scene, there must have been a fight. But after that, the factions seem to have gone their separate ways. Both the phlogiston and the elemental traces in the air support that.
Parece que Auroron teve chance de revidar.
Do you still remember the little mark we found before? Paimon's thinking, what if Auroron wanted to leave another distress signal, but was caught by the Fatui?
Citali parece bem preocupada. De fato, julgando pelo sinal de socorro de antes, Auroron estava sendo preso pelos Fatuis. Então, considerando a diferença em número, ele provavelmente não conseguiria sair vitorioso.
Given there are two signals leading from here, we should split up as well. I'll take this direction, and leave the other one to you. Let's meet up again later. Auroron, what the heck were you doing? It's one thing to trouble me, but now I had to bring other people into this as well. You...
And off she goes! Traveler, did you hear all of that as well?
Sim.
Once Citlali left, that voice went away as well. Paimon even tried calling her name inside Paimon's head, but there was no response.
Então a telepatia não tem duas vias.
So you were thinking the same thing! Paimon also thought that if we could hear what she was thinking, then she could probably also hear what we were thinking in our heads.
Então, eu não acho que Citlina notou alguma coisa.
She did say that she was quite adept at this spell, and it doesn't sound like she's had any trouble with it in the past. Huh, maybe we're a special case and can hear her thoughts as a side effect. If you think about it, she's really got a lively inner world. It paints quite a different picture from Paimon's first impression of her. see some traces here. Let's follow them and see if we can find anything up ahead.
Há rastros de flogisto aqui, mas...
Did you find something?
Encontrei rastros de flogisto.
Huh. So we can't tell where Auroron might have gone from here. That's weird. The phlogiston trail suddenly stops. We can't make anything of these footprints either. But he can't have just evaporated into thin air, right? We know he wasn't alone. He had all those Fatui with him.
Paio tem razão. Isso tudo é extremamente estranho. Além disso...
So, you can hear the sounds of the wind from beneath the earth.
Hã? De quem era essa voz ainda agora? O Reino da Noite. Como eu cheguei aqui? Gente, é o lugar que eu caí. Lembra daquele bug? Eu acho que foi no episódio 3 da 5.0. Ou o quinto. Que a gente caiu num limbo que a gente ficou, meu pai do céu, que bug foi esse? Eu acho que eu postei no canal. A gente já foi nesse lugar. Por um bug. Tá bom. Foca, foca, foca. O Reino da Noite? Como eu cheguei aqui?
I'm very sorry, but please do not move. I have no desire to hurt you. I apologize that our first meeting has to take place like this. It's just that you're much like one of those animals with ears that perk up as soon as it senses danger in their environment. And given your combat proficiency, I would not have been able to gain an advantage over you if you were anywhere else in the world. However, you're now in the Night Kingdom, a familiar domain to the Masters of the Night Wind. Hello, traveler. I'm Auroron, the one you've been searching for.
Mas o que isso quer dizer? Você escapou da custódia dos Fatui?
Ah, the Fatui's custody. I see. So even Granny has told you that I was coerced by the Fatui. I'm afraid you've been brought here by a lie, like a false omen in the lingering smoke. My friend and I only left those traces to lure you here. Deceiving you was never our true intent, however. It was simply the fastest and most feasible way for us to set up a meeting.
É o Capitano?
Greetings, traveler from afar.
Be careful with this traveler. Her soul is temporarily restrained by us, and it appears to have become more fragile in the process. It's taking all my concentration to hold on to her.
It was I who tasked Auroron with leaving the traces to lead you here, and I who used the Master's ritual to bring your soul to the Night Kingdom.
Então, vocês estão trabalhando juntos?
I've heard much about you from the past encounters you've had with my colleagues. Given the present situation in Natlan, I would like to sincerely request a formal meeting with you. In person, I will use the opportunity to explain my goals and motivations to you, as well as why I mistrust Malwika, the Pyro Archon. I believe there is little reason for you to blindly follow her plan. If you would like to hear our intel, then find us to the east of the stadium. But remember, not a word of this to anyone. I would like to avoid any further conflict.
You will see me again once you return to reality. No matter what I say, please, help me keep this a secret. This is all to avoid dragging Granny into this conflict.
Hey, what happened just now? You suddenly collapsed and stopped responding.
Ah, estou bem. Minha alma foi removida à força do meu corpo ainda agora? Isso explicaria eu não consegui ouvir Paimon nem um pouco.
Hey, why are you sitting on the ground? Are you okay?
See, Lolly! She froze for a moment and then just collapsed to the ground.
Could it have been those leftover remnants from the Night Kingdom? Do you have any itches or pain anywhere?
Estou bem, só pouco tonta.
Don't worry. We can take a short break. Sorry, I know I asked for your help. But had I known you were feeling unwell, I wouldn't have taken you on this trip with me.
Se eles estavam sendo honestos, devem ter motivos razoáveis para o que fizeram, mas eu deveria confiar neles? Eu poderia só compartilhar tudo com Paimon e Citlali agora mesmo, mas isso significa desistir da pista. Eu ainda não tive muitas tentativas com os Fatuis ou o Mestre do Vento Noturno. Acho que vou ficar sem falar nada por hora e ver se consigo descobrir mais alguma coisa.
If you're feeling sick, you should just say so. See, Lolly should be able to, exorcise any ghosts or weird stuff that you picked up in the Night Kingdom.
A seasoned traveler must know the importance of not pushing yourself beyond your limit. If you need anything from me, just say the word.
Valeu, pessoal. Estou me sentindo bem agora.
In any case, let's take a bit more time to rest now.
Embora a situação permaneça bastante urgente, você dá uma pausa maior com a Paimon e Citlali. As palavras do Ororon ainda ecoam em sua mente. Enquanto isso, Citlali continua de olho em você e até faz outro exame.
Need to be more careful next time.
Feeling better yet, Traveler?
All right, let's get ready. I followed my phlogiston trail earlier to a stronghold guarded by soldiers. I have a feeling that Auroron is probably being held inside.
Oh, so it's close by. Then let's head over right away.
Sinto muito. Não percebi que estavam te segurando.
Well, I recruited you to be my helper, which means we're in this together. Like the wind and the clouds. We either move as one or not at all. But if you want to make it up to me, then just be sure to fight extra hard when the time comes.
É complicado. É complicado, eu não sei se eu devo confiar realmente. Igual a Lumine pretende fazer, é uma situação bem delicada. É, mas é de se pensar, né? Pô, por um lado, a gente vai ter uma chance bem grande de falar com os Fatui.
Look over there.
Huh? Paimon thinks she sees someone in the middle of the camp.
That's Auroron. So he really was taken by the Fatui.
Então, aquele é Ororon. Ele parece o mesmo de quando conversei com ele no Reino da Noite mais cedo.
Alright, we'll take the lead.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Don't you have work to do?
I cannot see the sun.
What?
Without the sun, I cannot see the truth. You are currently blocking the light, so I must beseech you to move aside.
Huh? Okay, Mr. Philosopher. That's enough mumbo-jumbo.
Wow. I'm going to rip that guy's head right off.
See, Lolly's struggling to control her temper now.
Are you ready? Let's go kick their butts. On my count. 3, 2, 1! Still trying to resist? You've got no idea who you're up against!
Granny!
Paimon knows she's called Granny Eats to Lead, but it's still kind of weird hearing someone actually call her Granny.
And greetings to you too, other Granny.
Vovó?
What did you just call her?
Granny. Is that not right? You are Granny's friend, are you not? You seem to be approximately the same age as her, so I figured you're also a Granny.
How many times have I told you? It doesn't work like that. There are a lot of people who look about the same age as me. You can't go around calling everyone Gramps or Granny.
Oh, wait. He's not a child, is he? Don't tell Paimon he's one of those people who look like an adult but are actually only 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, your words have pierced my heart like a thorn vine. Given how hard those thorns are to remove, I may just need to find a pair of tweezers.
Why are you so upset? You can just say yes or no.
Of course I'm not a child. It's just Granny always taught me to show gratitude where it's due. And since the Masters of the Night Wind raised me collectively, I basically see everyone above a certain age as an elder I should look up to.
O jeito que ele fala definitivamente mudou, mas não parece que ele está fingindo. Ele me pediu para fazer o que eu puder para ajudar a manter as coisas em segredo. E até disse que seria pelo bem de Citlali. Então você trata todos como seus avós e sua avó?
Exactly.
But if you keep that up, then everyone's going to be your senior.
And do you think saying all of this is gonna save you from a scolding, Auroron? Haven't I told you 100 times since you were a kid? Heed the 3 warnings!
Be wary of bees prowling around, scammers looking for their next victim, and strange people who appear out of nowhere.
Oh, so you do remember, and you just chose to ignore them. I always knew that living on your own was going to get you into trouble sooner or later. But getting kidnapped? You won't always be able to rely on other people coming to your rescue, you know. You're just lucky we got here when we did. Or we might be launching another search and rescue operation to find out where they put your severed head.
I'm sorry, Granny. I'll be more careful next time.
Next time? Oh, good one. You think there'll be a next time after this? Not a chance. They didn't hurt you, did they?
No, they just asked me a lot of questions about Natlan's terrain and made me draw a map of the ley line distribution.
Okay, now answer me honestly. Were you the one who helped the captain escape after his battle with the Pyro Archon?
Yes.
So why did you do it?
Because they said they would need my help from there on out. They also said that if I refused, they'd just come to you, Granny, and they'd already figured out a way to make you do their bidding.
Hey! I'm no ordinary Granny! Would they really dare to come after me? And you! Did the gods give you a brain just for you to not use it? Did you really believe everything they said at face value? And not thankfully, the Pyro Archon only asked that we find the mysterious individual from the Masters of the Nightwind, and didn't slap your name on a wanted poster. Don't think for a second that she doesn't know what's happening. Even if the truth that you see will soon manifest into reality, there is still no need to preemptively panic. Have you forgotten the words that I've taught you?
I'm sorry.
Ugh, forget it. We can submit the details of this camp and the defeated Fatui as evidence of your innocence. Let's clean this place up and get back to the city. Auroron, you better remember this lesson well and seriously reflect on your actions. Also, once we return to the city, come to the speaker's chamber with me. I'll need—
Sounds good. Should I bring some of my homegrown vegetables as well?
Your vegetables?
Yes. I grow a lot of fresh produce in my garden. I hope the Pyro Archon won't be too picky about the selection.
Now's not the time to be thinking about that. If you do come face to face with the Pyro Archon, the first thing you should do is—
Recite the 3 warnings.
Huh? No! You should emphasize that you were not in cahoots with the Fatui!
How exactly did the Masters raise this guy?
Oh, right.
Vocês voltaram à cidade e Citlali leva vocês à câmara de discussões, onde recontam tudo o que aconteceu com Auroron.
I see. So Auroron came to the captain's rescue because he promised to help him in exchange for Citlali's safety.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Now that you know Auroron was only trying to protect another member of his tribe, could I ask you to petition the Pyro Archon for her forgiveness?
We'll give her a full report. We'll let you know once she's reached a decision.
Will I need to stay here?
Technically, yes. But if Miss Citlali is willing to serve as your guarantor, then we can release you from custody.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that. I don't have any more time to waste here. I still have—
Understood. Thank you very much. Mr. Auroron! Please report back to the Speaker's chamber as soon as you've received notice of the Archon's decision.
I understand. Thank you. And thank you too, Granny.
Well, at least you won't need to hide your face anymore.
Traveler, Paimon, thank you very much for your help. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about my side of the deal. Once Auroron is settled, I'll go talk to Shilonen and get started on forging an ancient name for you.
Oh, thank you!
Conto com você.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's as good as done. You can just go twiddle your thumbs or something while you wait for the good news. Bye for now. Come with me, Auroron. We've got to find you a place to stay for the night.
Goodbye, Mother Granny.
Esse meu novo netinho é educado demais. Aquele olhar no rosto dele. Ele está provavelmente tentando me lembrar sobre minha promessa. Ele não me parece um mentiroso. Se eu não tivesse visto tudo com meus próprios olhos, jamais adivinharia que ele poderia ter feito tanta coisa pelas costas de Citlali. O que ele realmente quer?
Oh, we're finally done. Alright, it's time to find some grub.
Paimon, tem uma coisa que preciso te contar.
Huh? What is it, Traveler?
Você puxa a Paimon de lado e conta tudo pra ela.
What? The captain?
Não grite.
Sorry. Paimon just didn't see that coming. So you really saw him in the Night Kingdom? And he didn't attack you? Oh, that Auroron, what is he up to? He sounded earnest enough just now. Paimon would have never guessed anything was happening. All that stuff about protecting Citlali and being forced to help the Fatui, when he's actually been a willing accomplice all along.
Precisamos de mais informações.
Yeah, you're right. Still, Paimon appreciates you telling her about this. Paimon will support your choice no matter what, so if you want to go, we can go together. We still have another whole day before the meeting, so we'll just meet with them when the time comes.
Isso. Vocês sabem o que... Vamos continuar. Vou fingir que nada aconteceu, não estou estressada. Não estou bem controlada.
Weird. Paimon doesn't see anyone. Oh, please don't let this be a trap. What was that?
Good evening. Nice to see you again.
It's you. You shouldn't pop up from behind people like that. What are you, a ghost?
I'm terribly sorry. It's just a force of habit.
And what's with you apologizing all the time? You sound so polite and honest, but you're actually doing shady stuff behind people's backs.
You're right. Granny tells me that too. Huh. Come to think of it, you remind me of her. Sometimes you two sound really similar, you know.
Oh, so you're gonna call Paimon Granny too now?
Well, I could.
Por que a gente tá aqui?
It's all clear. Over to you.
Excellent. The fact that you showed up proves that I was right about your character.
Não me importo com o que os fatores acham de mim.
Yet, there's been a lot of talk about you. Child told me that you're passionate about the unknown and willing to take risks. Rather than facing you as an enemy, I would much prefer to bring you to my side. If we allow the current state of things to continue, we will inevitably clash, and that's a scenario that I'd very much like to avoid.
Por quê?
I've long heard of your exploits across the nations. Though you have crossed swords with my colleagues many times, I know that you are by no means an unreasonable person. And once you've learned the truth that the Pyro Archon Malwika would never willingly share with you, you may just find it in your heart to consider my proposal.
I assume you've already been informed of the Pyro Archon's plan. In order to defeat the Abyss and save Natlan, she still needs 2 more heroes to appear.
Wait, how did you know that? Never mind. Guess that's not important now.
I've long kept a close eye on her plan. To be frank, it's an exceedingly risky plan. Will the heroes really appear? And even if they come to her, will their power be enough to drive the Abyss back? If any part of the plan goes awry, all of Natlan, even all of Teyvat, will pay for her mistakes. Now, you may have been led to believe that this is the only plan available to her. But what if I told you she's had another emergency plan all along, the details of which she has chosen to keep hidden from you?
An emergency plan?
Yes. A way to keep Natlan intact, even if her original plan fails. But given the painful cost of its execution, she has chosen to keep it as a mere backup plan. Whether this stems from hesitation, fear, or even naivete, I cannot say. But Natlan cannot afford to wait until she comes to her senses. My fear is that given the enormity of the decision, she will be reluctant to confront the dire reality we face until it is too late. There will be no time left to execute the backup plan, and all of Natlan will be lost to the Abyss. We have to make the decision for her, here and now.
Isso é apenas especulação.
Yeah, do you have any evidence for all this? Just telling us a bunch of scary stuff isn't enough, you know. Besides, wasn't it you who tried to seize the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa plan?
Espere, ao roubar a Gnosia e tomar uma decisão por ela, será que ele quer dizer que a Gnosia tem algo a ver com esse plano reserva?
I knew you'd be clever enough to see. That's right. I did not seek the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa. Since I was defeated in battle, I must put to rest my thoughts about the Gnosis. But even so, my desire to save Natlan remains unchanged. And now, I have found a new way to solve the crisis. We can implement it immediately if we reach an agreement.
Someone's here.
Huh? The captain disappeared!
Something is rapidly approaching. Oh no.
Something? Bad news, chump! It's your granny!
See, Lolly! When did you get here?
I knew something was amiss after we were separated. Hidden ceremonial tools, an unconscious traveler. I must say, I'm very curious about what you're up to. How dare you go behind our backs like this, Auroron? Colluding with the Fatui? Really? Oh, here we go again. Cat got your tongue, huh? You really think you can avoid a scolding just by staying quiet?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Oh, and now you're talking back. Well, go on then. Explain.
I'm sorry, Granny. I feel so guilty.
You! That's it! Where are my tools? I swear if I don't teach you a lesson right here and now, I'll...
Wait, see, Lolly! Please, calm down. We, still learned a lot of info, didn't we? Like the fact that the captain isn't trying to seize the Gnosis anymore. So, maybe just save the scolding for later, okay?
Esse não é o lugar para disciplinar uma criança.
Listen well, Auroron. You're only getting out of this now because of the Traveler's plea. This isn't over. You hear me? You're right, Traveler. Let's go. We can discuss this more back in the city. You two keep an eye on Auroron for me, okay?
Nossa conversa com o capitão foi interrompida no momento mais crucial, mas se Auroron ainda estiver aqui, talvez ainda poderemos saber do resto com ele. Mas tudo bem. Puta que pariu. Pô, isso todo o nosso rolê.
In all my years, I've never had a child cause me so much grief. Do you seriously not see what's at stake here? You've got a head on your shoulders, Auroron. Use it! Why did you help the captain? And I want the truth this time. No answer? Think you're being smart? Then let me ask a different question. What does the captain want? What is his purpose in Natlan? Really? You're just going to stonewall me?
Parece que Auroron não tem a mínima intenção de respondê-la.
Just use your brain for a second. What do you possibly stand to gain by helping the captain? Only endless trouble awaits you and everyone in the tribe. You've always been a good kid. Why would you throw that all away now? If you're worried about something, just talk to me. Granny would much rather we had a conversation instead of constantly clashing like this.
Why is he staring at us all of a sudden?
I'm sorry that you have to hear all this.
Tá de boa.
You're very kind. Most people would have fled by now. Not everyone can handle Granny's scolding.
Oh? You dare gossip between yourselves instead of listening to me? You...
Sorry, Granny.
Sorry, Granny. Sorry, Granny. You know what? Fine. I'm perfectly aware that everything I say goes in one ear and out the other. You're all grown up now, so why would you listen to an old hag like me? You say all the right things, but then you go and completely ignore me! Well, if that's how you're going to treat me, you can stop sending Aoife over to my place to deliver your stupid vegetables! I don't...
Who's Aoife? A delivery person?
That's irrelevant. The point is, he hangs out with this kid, so he must be no good. You kids get to a certain age and suddenly act like you know it all. There's nothing I can say to get through to you. Auroron, if you're still thinking about that so-called duty, then please, just forget about it. The ley lines did not fall to this state because of you. And we've long closed the book on that incident.
Seems they've started talking about some kind of tribal history. I'm starting to get lost.
That's not it, Granny.
Tem algo estranho na voz dele.
I know you tend to get down on yourself when you're upset, but I can tell I really hurt you this time. All I can say is I'm sorry.
His voice. Auroron! Where have you gone?
It sounds like he's somewhere super far away, but isn't he right here in front of us?
I'm really sorry. It's up to all of us to do everything we can to save Natlan. So I've got to go.
Get back here this instant! Auroron! What is this? Powder from plant spores? Is that the trick he used?
What just happened? How was he able to suddenly get so far away like that?
It's a trick of his. If you grind spores into a powder and spray it in the air, it can be manipulated to create an illusion. He pulled it off flawlessly. He must have put a lot of time into perfecting it. Don't tell me that's how he's been hunting in the fields these days. Couldn't he have picked up something more useful? Little brat. That's it. The next time we meet, I'm definitely going to break his legs.
Whoa, that's a little extreme. But still, why does his goal is also to protect Natlan, then can't we work together?
Ele ainda não quer nos dizer nada sobre seu objetivo.
I'm sorry for interrupting your conversation with them earlier. But even if you'd been able to hear them out, there's no guarantee you would have gained anything substantial. Auroron probably did everything he could to get away because he knew I'd get the truth out of him sooner or later. Ah, that brat. I swear.
Capitão provavelmente tem algum tipo de plano substancial. Caso contrário, Auroron não teria motivos para continuar seguindo. Nos encontraremos novamente. Está fora de questão no momento, então deve ser mais rápido se procurarmos Arconte Pyro e confirmar o que o capitão disse. Além disso, percebo que a teimosia de Auroron machucou profundamente Citlali. Preciso encontrar uma forma de confortá-la. O que foi tudo aquilo sobre o dever de Auroron?
We've got quite a long walk back to the city. Let's take our time. It'll give me a moment to figure out how to explain all this.
Bem, raposas e magos, eu vou ficando por aqui. Espero que gostem do vídeo. Se inscreva no canal e ative o sininho de notificação para mais vídeos e futuras lives. Deixe seu like e comente o que estão achando. Não deixe de me seguir também nas outras redes sociais, links na descrição e até breve.